right, I'll let you know. Okay. Salute. Let me adjust this a little bit. So, I was asked to talk about this Russia-Ukraine conflict a little bit, so I wanted to talk to you guys about it. But I realized that a lot of you guys don't even know why the United States is so invested in this whole Ukraine thing. I've heard a lot of people say, me is back in the building. Salute, Uncle Stu, I see you. So I realized a lot of people, you know, especially as an Army veteran, they like, you know, why is it that the United States is sticking their nose into this Russia and Ukraine thing? Why do they even care? And I realized that a lot of people, because a lot of people don't, I know it's big news, but a lot of people don't only worry about the thing that happened in a city, in a town. So I realized, you know, this Ukraine thing, this Russia thing, they like, man, hey, look, that's, as long as they don't come over here, we don't care. But I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why the United States should care. Let's see how I want to start this off. Now, I realize a lot of people don't know what NATO is. So what I did, I compiled a couple videos that was sent to me. And I also compiled some things that I actually researched myself. So that way we can kind of put some things together to give people a better understanding who don't know what this conflict's about and why, you know what I'm saying? Got a Marine family in the building. Salute to them. Yeah, my little brother was a devil dog. So let's slow walk this thing. Let's slow walk this thing and start talking about this whole thing in reference to the Russia and Ukraine conflict. First of all, if you guys are familiar with the Soviet Union and what happened with the whole the JEWS, I don't even know if we could say the word, you know, but with the Holocaust, if you're familiar with what happened there, and how the Germans was kind of taking over everything, was like, okay, we're going to spread our way of thinking. We're going to promote this dictatorship. What happened was, once the Soviet Union fell, once Hitler was beat, etc., 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 what happened was, United States and several other countries got together and said, we want to prevent the Holocaust from happening anywhere else. So if you guys have an issue, you call on us and we can call on you. Ukraine, as of, I believe it was June of 2020, they've become a part of NATO. So NATO is our group of allies, to where is, if there's a conflict going on with your country, we support you. And if something goes on with us, then y'all come and support us. Now, here's the problem. The problem is when NATO was formed. So think of NATO as a football team. Think of NATO as the Rams, okay? And think of the Soviet Union and everybody that formed with them as the Bengals. I'm trying to break this down. I'm about to piss somebody off. I'm just saying, I'm trying to break this down so we all can understand what's going on. So now the Bengals say, you know what? Ukraine, y'all acting funny. So what we want to do is we want to start a war with you. Where if you start a war with Ukraine, now Ukraine's allies, which is NATO, have to pull up. So that's what's happening right now. This is the reason why we can't ignore it. This is the reason why we can't say y'all fight your own fight, ain't got nothing to do with us, etc., etc., etc. Because we are a part of NATO. I wanted to play this little video. It's about 3 minutes to explain who's a part of NATO. And I kind of explained it in layman terms, but they explained it in their terms, what NATO is and how important it is, when NATO was formed, the allies of NATO. So that way you guys can understand that NATO is a group of countries that are put together to say, if you guys have a problem, we will assist you. So Ukraine has a problem. Ukraine has a problem. If Ukraine, being one country, let's just say, if only the offense shows up for the Super Bowl, what about the defense? What about the special teams? So NATO provides the defense and the special teams. Ukraine is only the offense. So they need a defense, they need a special teams, and that's where NATO comes in at. We are their backup, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. Salute to everybody in the chat or whatever case it be. Hey, some people don't like me using the opposing team as the Bengals because they Bengals fans. Don't blame me, y'all. I need to talk about this, man. Hold on, wait. Ukraine is a NATO member as of 2020. As of 2020 June, I believe it was the 12th or the 14th. which is the reason why we're invested in helping NATO. But you can look it up. 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 But I'm gonna play this this thing from CNBC International, and they talk about NATO and all that good stuff. Hopefully it don't get too hot back here. Hold on, let me see if I can block some of this sun. Yes, they are NATO now. Yes, look it up. Just say, is NATO? When did when did Ukraine become a part of NATO? And I think it said 2020 June, if I'm not mistaken. Why does Russia want problems with Ukraine though? To expand, it's a dictatorship. You got to think about Russia. You got to think about Russia. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a dictatorship. You know, their whole way of life is just totally different. So it's kind of like we'll pick on Ukraine. Ukraine right here. United States, y'all way over there. Basically, it'll force our hand. If you attack Ukraine, it's going to enforce our hand. So that's why the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, shit, even some of the Coast Guard, some of your guys that's reservists, they're being activated now. People are being put on alert now. Training is being started, saying that you guys are going to have to go overseas. Hell, my brother's overseas right now. So the fact that, and he just got extended for another year. So this is going to affect the military because this is going to stretch us. I wouldn't say thin, but this is a lot of people are looking at this as a World War III type situation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, are you activated now, Tough? No, Tough Love is not activated. Don't want to be. Listen, I done fought my wars. I didn't have my fair share. I want to stay at home with my babies. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my brothers and sisters who's active, that have paid the ultimate sacrifice, that are reservists coming on active duty. Everybody, my prayers and my heart goes out to you, whatever. But I'm hoping that we don't get reactivated. But I think that I guess it all depends. I guess it all depends on what actually happens or whatever case may be. You know, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. No problem, Empress, no problem. Like I said, June 20. I tried to do a little bit of research because I wasn't sure if Ukraine joined or not. So I wanted to find out before I told you Ukraine joined or not, and then I would have to eat my words. But if I was wrong, I was wrong. But I appreciate you coming back and apologizing. So I'm gonna play this CNBC International, because when we talk about NATO, they're like, what is a NATO? Why is it so important? NATO is a group of countries that have formed together that says, we got your back. As simple and plain as that. We got your back. If somebody mess with y'all, we gonna ride for y'all. It's just like, you know, just like on the YouTube streets. If somebody mess with you, we gonna ride for you. So that's what's happening right now. Russia is saying, you know, Ukraine looking pretty vulnerable right now. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, we think they up to no good. So we gonna pull up on Ukraine, and we're going to start something with Ukraine. Russia is calling the United States bluff. They're calling the NATO bluff. Well, maybe we can get away with this. Maybe we can get our tanks and our weaponry ready, our troops ready, and we'll act like we want to do something. We'll want to see if NATO is going to react. Joe Biden, a lot of people getting blown up for some reason. A lot of people don't realize that, you know, because they don't like Joe Biden, they don't like Democrats, they're Republicans. But again, this affects the United States of America, because a lot of our brothers and sisters, blood, biological and through the military, they are being affected by this. You know what I'm saying? They're being affected by this. There are people being shipped out. There are people on high alert that will be shipped out. So this is going to affect us. So when you talk about NATO, we are a part of NATO. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we definitely salute to Uncle Stu, another retiree in the building. You know, so let me get to this real quick. Salute to everybody in the building. So this is a breakdown of what NATO is, how NATO was formed. I kind of did it in layman terms so everybody can kind of understand what it is, but I'm gonna let this play.
What is NATO, and why are the world's most powerful leaders suddenly so worried about it? Well, NATO stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It's a political and military alliance between North America and Europe that was born out of World War II and signed into effect in 1949. Its main aim back then, to push back against any future aggression from the Soviet Union.
The developments of the North Atlantic Pact may have been reflected in the recent changes in the Soviet High Command.
This became particularly important in 1955 when the Soviet Union and 7 other European countries signed the Warsaw Pact. Communism was spreading across Eastern and Central Europe, and this pact promised military support for Soviet satellite states. There were 12 original NATO member countries. Today, there are 28. 7 of those are former Warsaw Pact countries. Each member of NATO has an equal say in discussions and decisions. One of the most important principles of the NATO Treaty is Article 5.
New text message 61960363441.
Sorry about that.
States that an attack on one country is in theory an attack against all members. In theory, all troops and equipment in each nation is available for NATO to use. That means there are 3.6 million active personnel and another 3.7 million in reserve.
No problem, me.
So if it really came down to it, 7.3 million NATO forces could be mobilized. But Article 5 has been invoked only once in its nearly 70-year history, the day after 9/11. It led to NATO action in Afghanistan. Collectively, NATO member states account for most of the globe's military spending, just under $1 trillion. In 2006, all 28 member states agreed to spend 2% of their GDP for the alliance's defense spending. But in fact, in reality, that target is rarely met. In 2015, the median spend was just 1.18%. The United States spent a whopping 3.7%.
Good morning, good morning.
That means that America accounted for some 70% of the alliance's total
I appreciate
defense
that.
spending.
Thank you very much.
And it is only one of 5 countries to spend more than 2%. NATO admits the funding imbalance has been an issue since the start of the alliance, and that it does cause friction. During his presidential election campaign, Donald Trump threatened to pull out of the treaty, calling it, quote, obsolete. He also said the U.S. would only help countries that paid their fair share.
Because we're protecting these countries. We have the seal of the United States in these countries.
Yes,
a major test of Trump's tough stance could come in 2017 when U.S. troops are due to be deployed in Eastern Europe under Washington's European Reassurance Initiative. The U.S. had gradually withdrawn its military presence from Europe since the fall of the Soviet Union. But that all changed in 2014 when Russia seized Crimea and started conducting military operations in eastern Ukraine. The U.S. responded with a $1 billion emergency response. Next year, that budget is set to triple to $3.4 billion. But will President-elect Trump follow through? We'll have to wait and see. Phil Hahn, CNBC, London.
Still watching? Perfect. Click.
Okay, so I just wanted to address one person real quick. It's Snoopy. Snoopy says this is something you play for elementary school children that don't understand backwards American politics. Here's what's so crazy about it, right? Because I don't see a lot of people talking about this Russian and Ukraine conflict or whatever case it be. Which I'm glad I was asked to talk about it or whatever case it be. I literally talked to a couple content creators who did not know what NATO was. Didn't know what NATO was, didn't know why the United States was. They was like, why is the United States worried about Ukraine when we having issues right here in the United States of America? So I get it. You might understand what NATO is. You might think it's backwoods American politics, but for some people, they need this level of breakdown. You know what I'm saying? Some people say make it Barney style. So we want to just make sure everybody's a part of the conversation so that way people don't feel left out. So, you know, if this is not, you know what I'm saying, advanced for you, you know, feel free to pull off. Feel free to pull off, you know, thank God it's Friday. Feel free to pull off and go to where, you know, it is more advanced. But I did want to explain the reason why the America was even involved. America even cared about it. Because this was something that was established, hell, longer than a lot of us been alive. So, you know, yeah, I definitely wanted to break that down and establish that or whatever. But there was another, let me see. There was another female that's a TikTok, let me turn this down a little bit. There's another female who was on TikTok. No problem. I'm not getting on you. No problem. I'm just saying I talked to a couple people because I wanted to know where to start at. And I didn't want to sit here talking about NATO, And people are like, what the hell? Why is he talking about who's NATO? Does NATO have a YouTube channel? Do I need to subscribe to NATO? NATO probably do got a YouTube channel. But I just wanted to explain for everybody to understand or whatever. And then I wanted to understand people to understand that there are people being activated right now. Posts being activated. Fort Hood, which I'm not near Fort Hood right now, but is one of the biggest army installations in the United States of America. So I know a couple of my friends that are there right now. They're in training. I can't tell you where they're going, but I can tell you that they're getting ready to go. So if something was to pop off, these men and women, these units, these brigades will be the first ones to transition from the army installation here at Fort Hood. So it's for some, you know, it's spouses, it's, you know, dads and moms and all the other stuff or whatever that are very nervous about the situation, because it's you get what you get mainstream media. You get your orders that you really can't come on. You can't come online and say, I got orders to such and such place. I'm gonna be there for such and such, how long or whatever. And to be honest with you guys, you know, there are people from Russia, there are people from Ukraine, there are people that take what soldiers get online and say in regards to how long they're going to be in a place and what location they're going to be and how many troops are coming with them or whatever. So it's called intel. It's called intel. So I just wanted to help y'all out. But there was another TikTok star. I can't see her name right now, but she's going to be on BNC News. You can Google that or whatever case be. It's on YouTube as well. And she's going to be on there kind of breaking down this situation in greater detail. And I wanted to play, this is one of the videos that was sent to me, and I wanted to play what it is that she says. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit so you guys can hear what she says. And she goes even more in depth. Matter of fact, Lonnie Love, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. She was the person that tagged me in this video right here. So I'm going to play this video for you guys. And hopefully, based on what I've said and what you've already heard, it kind of goes more into depth. I got about 1 or 2 more videos, and depending on time, we'll get into those things and that. But I want you guys to hear why she says the United States is involved and what Russia is trying to do, and how the United States of America, the presidency, how they've address certain things. So I'm gonna be reading the comments or whatever case we drop her link. I'll put the matter of fact, I've already shared her the video to my community tab, so feel free to go. I think they have her information in there as well, but she's on TikTok. So, and they're gonna explain, they're gonna say her name in a minute or whatever case to be. No problem. Here we go. Let's turn it up a little bit so you can hear it.
Following for you the tension on the world stage between Russia and Ukraine.
It's complicated, sometimes hard to follow, but TikTok influencer I Am Legally Hype breaks it down in what may be just...
I think it says I am legally hype. I think they said I am legally hype. I think so. Salute to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. I appreciate y'all hitting the like button. Thank you.
Out there. Take a listen.
Okay, so boom. We was mad at Big T for being cool with Big Bang P, but Big Bang P just linked up with China, and if I'm not mistaken, Big Bang P is one of the richest men in the world, and everybody and their mama owe China some money, so we might have an issue, but this is what happened. Big Bang P was looking at Ukraine, and he like, I like that territory. It's like real close to Russia, and I feel like it belongs to us, so I'm finna come get it. So he didn't move his military close to the border, and he letting them know, like, I'm finna come get it, like, just letting y'all know, right? And so Ukraine is like, we don't know what he's gonna do. So they got their military out there teaching their citizens how to do Taibo just in case they gotta defend themselves. But some of the citizens, they like, you know what? Big Bang P, he is kind of crazy, but he ain't finna bust a grape. And if he do bust a grape, guess what? America gonna come over here and help us. But my whole thing is like, I don't know if y'all forgot what happened in Afghanistan, but we was over there for over 20 years and nobody understood the assignment. So personally, I just would not put all my eggs in the American basket. I done seen the type of people that are American military employed, and no disrespect, but y'all need to go to them continuation schools in the hood and go get you some real shooters. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, so Biden done hopped in, right? So Big Daddy Biden, he done hopped into the mix, and he like, look, P, stop playing with me. I know you're trying to be funny because America over here arguing about abortion rights and affirmative action during Black History Month, but I ain't got time for this right now. So if you pull up over there, it's gonna be some smoke, and you're gonna get sanctions. I'm sending you a whole receipt. Like, you're gonna have to pay this bill. And P is like, bruh, let me tell you something. By the look of the inflation in America and y'all homelessness problem y'all got over there, y'all need this money. So go ahead and send me the bill, bruh. I'll pay it in cash. And so at this point, It's out of our hands.
Receipt.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Let me let you hear the rest of it because I think it's important. Hold on, because I think she's gonna be on there tonight. Hold on.
Right, all about the receipts. A.B. Burns Tucker joins us live tomorrow night right here in the World Tonight to talk about how and why her TikTok explainer went viral. And folks,
she on point.
It's not the only topic she explains.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking.
So she's on point. I mean, it pretty much kind of ties into everything I just said or whatever case may be. I just wanted to kind of infuse why America, why our forces, our armed forces we even cared about it. Why the president was even checking it out. I got to check it out. Yeah, go definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. I'm definitely going to be tuned in for that or whatever. She definitely simplified it. She did a great job, an excellent job at doing it or whatever. When I heard it, I had to listen to it twice. She was talking. When you're not prepared for that type of cadence of talk, you like, huh? What? Huh? Maybe I can't rewind it. I don't think I can rewind it. But hopefully you got, let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know. It might.
What is NATO and why are the world's most powerful?
And welcome back to the World Tonight.
I'm gonna try to play it again so that way you guys can hear it. Salute, Big E.
Stage between Russia and Ukraine.
I'm gonna play it one more time so you guys can catch it, hopefully.
It's complicated, sometimes hard to follow, but TikTok influencer I Am Legally Hype breaks it down.
I am legally hype.
And what may be just the best explainer out there. Take a listen.
Okay, so boom. We was mad at Big T for being cool with Big Bang P, but Big Bang P just linked up with China, and if I'm not mistaken, Big Bang P is one of the richest men in the world, and everybody and their mama owe China some money, so we might have an issue, but this is what happened. Big Bang P was looking at Ukraine, and he like, I like that territory. It's like real close to Russia, and I feel like it belongs to us, so I'm finna come get it. So he didn't move his military close to the border, and he letting them know, like, I'm finna come get it, like, just letting y'all know, right? And so Ukraine is like, we don't know what he's gonna do. So they got their military out there teaching their citizens how to do cargo just in case they gotta defend themselves. But some of the citizens, they like, you know what? Big Bang P, he is kind of crazy, but he ain't finna bust a grape. And if he do bust a grape, guess what? America gonna come over here and help us. But my whole thing is like, I don't know if y'all forgot what happened in Afghanistan, but we was over there for over 20 years and nobody understood the assignment. So personally, I just would not put all my eggs in the American basket. I done seen the type of people that are American military employed, and no disrespect, but y'all need to go to them continuation schools in the hood and go get you some real shooters. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, so Biden done hopped in, right? So Big Daddy Biden, he done hopped into the mix, and he like, look, P, stop playing with me. I know you're trying to be funny because America over here arguing about abortion rights and affirmative action during Black History Month, but I ain't got time for this right now. So if you pull up over there, it's gonna be some smoke, and you're gonna get sanctions. I'm sending you a whole receipt. Like, you're gonna have to pay this bill. And P is like, bruh, let me tell you something. By the look of the inflation in America and y'all homelessness problem y'all got over there, y'all need this money. So go ahead and send me the bill, bruh. I'll pay it in cash. And so at this point, it's out of our hands.
Okay. I think y'all kind of caught the second go round or whatever case may be. Mr. Nimhard, I think I'm saying that right or whatever. You breaking down some facts in there. You breaking down some facts, definitely. We talking about Russia and China. You know what I'm saying? China, come on now. Those exports and imports, come on. We didn't seen a whole bunch of stuff made in China. You see what I'm saying? Made in China. So China got money. People owe China a bunch of money. Yes, it said translate. I'm trying to hold on, give me 1 second. Translate. So people owe China a bunch of money. So here's the thought process. When you talk about a dictatorship, we do our whole, we voting for the president and all that great stuff or whatever. But when you talk about communists, we're talking about, a dictatorship. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about, hey, I'm going to come into your home, pull people out the home and do what we want to do and throw them in jail. And we're going to do whatever we want to do, however we want to do it at the drop of a dime or whatever. Now, in America, we got people be complaining about America, but I've been to countries where I've seen stuff that it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? I hope that this never gets this bad in America or whatever. But when you talk about, communists, and you think about, and I have to keep on rolling back to, the Holocaust situation. You got to think about how we gathered a bunch of people up and put them in concentration camps and did whatever we wanted to do. Y'all got to think about that type of vibe right now here in America. You see what I'm saying? You got to think about it. So you got countries that they on that type of time. So you got to think about if you're a minority. Let's say Caucasian people decided, you know what I'm saying, this was a communist country or whatever case may be, and we're going to gather up all the minorities and we're going to put them in concentration camps. Or you only can live in Atlanta and Chicago. You see what I'm saying? So of course we got more free reign, and it's less of a dictatorship here, but that's the type of time and energy that they're promoting. So when you got China and Russia talking like, hey, let's expand our footprint. Let's expand our footprint. Ukraine looks like a good target for us. So what Ukraine does is says, you know, hey, America, hey, taps America on the shoulder and say, look, they over here being froggy. They might leap over here. We're going to need y'all assistance. Now we can ignore it, but then we violate the NATO policy. So next time that we need help, because here's what happens. What happens is if we do not prevent Ukraine from being invaded, who you think the next target's going to be? Who you think the next target's going to be? Like we feel real comfortable watching our cable TV, going to, you know, swimming pools and the beaches and all that other stuff, going to Waffle House and Walmart. We very comfortable, whatever case be. What happens if if Russia and China decides we want to invade the United States of America? Y'all remember Pearl Harbor? What happens if we don't help the people that's allied with us in this NATO treaty? We say, nah, that's not our fight. Y'all got it. Y'all good. Yeah, America's agreed to the, yeah. I mean, we've already signed the treaty. I mean, this was done years ago, or whatever, before a lot of us, was even born. But the fact of the matter is, if we do not support Ukraine and Ukraine gets overran, right? Then the next country to whatever Ukraine is, and they get overran, what happens is now you have these communists, they're building their think about it. If I overrun you, I now control your military. I now control whatever weapons of mass destruction you may have. Now my armies get bigger. My military gets bigger. So that's a military we now have to go against. If we don't help Ukraine goes from ally to enemy. One, they're going to be mad because we don't help them. Two, they're going to be upset because we decided to sit back and just fold our arms and be like, oh, well, we ain't got nothing to do with it. So they won't trust us anymore. So yeah, we definitely have to pull up. We definitely have to pull up, and we definitely have to help. So for those people that's going to have to, for those military members that's going to have to go and be on the front line and active doing those things in support of that, salute to you. Salute to you, because you're fighting people that are, I don't want to say bred for destruction, but are willing to cause destruction to prove their point. Ukraine ain't bothering nobody. Ukraine over there popping popcorn and watching Lifetime. I'm just saying, Ukraine ain't bothered. I was looking because I wanted to see what was Ukraine doing to make Putin want to be like, yeah, all right. Oh, y'all think we playing? We gonna attack. But it's just about being greedy, and that's what this whole communist situation is about. It's about being greedy, expanding your way of life onto other people. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I don't think somebody got to say this. Salute to everybody in the building right now. I just feel like the situation is important to talk about. And I'm glad that, people that are subscribed to the channel is like, hey, we need to get to talking about some real stuff or whatever. But, for those people that understand what NATO is and how important us helping them is, yeah, it's definitely important, because we don't want to say, when it comes to supporting our allies, that we fail to support our allies. Because if someone was to attack the United States directly, I mean, you got to think about it. It was hold on, Russia, North Korea, and China. Bro, take some water. Drink this water. Drink it. It's a hard pill to swallow. That's a hard pill to swallow. We can't afford not to support our allies. I don't know if you guys remember the whole thing about, North Korea having, what we're going to call it, weapons of mass destruction. I guess we forgot about all that. All of these people are a part of a whole communists. You know what I'm saying? When I was in Korea, I was in South Korea, of course. You know, and of course they got the DMZ. I actually went there, and they have this North Korea and South Korea split in half. And they have people that have family members that's on South Korea that haven't seen their families on the North Korean side or whatever case be, which is very interesting. But you think that I forgot his name off the top of my head. You think that the North Korean president is going to run America like we're used to? You don't think North Korea is a dictatorship? You don't think North Korea is a dictatorship? Bruh. Listen, I know we got our problems in America. We got a lot of problems. But I'm telling you right now, Russia, China, or North Korea, if we fell under their reign, their rule, I can guarantee you this would be a whole different America. All of that freedom of speech and First Amendment. Get on YouTube if you want to and talk about the president. Drink the water. I'm about to piss somebody off. Get on YouTube, talk about freedom of speech and fair use and the First Amendment, and see what happens. See if them people, see if they ain't knocking at your door. See if they ain't snatching you out your house. See if they ain't getting rid of your whole family. Your whole family, everybody, the dog and the cat, the roaches, the squirrels, the walnuts, everybody getting it. The whole block. Anybody who knew, anybody that was in the chat. Miss Carolyn, you getting it too. Like, oh, you want to comment? You thought it was funny, huh? You thought it was funny when he was talking about the president. So if I'm telling y'all don't want that smoke, man. Y'all do not want that smoke. I had a conversation with a South Korean, he was a professor at one of the universities or whatever case. We spoke English amazingly well. Of course, he was trying to, teaching me Korean, little words here and there or whatever. So we chopping it up, we talking or whatever case to be. And he was just saying, how different South Korea would be if they fell under the reign of North Korea. You know what I'm saying? The curfew, people joining the military. They still have people have to join the military, but how strenuous, even more strenuous it would be. And I can't imagine the freedoms that we have here in the United States being under a communist country and thinking that we live in our best life. I can't even imagine that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of us have never even been out the country, have never been out the United States of America. So it's hard to fathom that when you've never experienced that. You see what I'm saying? The most you've experienced is maybe on TV or maybe going to a Korean restaurant or something like that. Some of y'all think, going to a Chinese place, getting the wing and fried rice. Okay, I've been to China. No shade. No shade. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? No shade. You know what I'm saying? It is happening now in the U.S. Politics is interesting in the United States of America. It's very interesting. Of course, we see shows where kind of give us a back door to how politics is really ran, the things that go on behind closed doors or whatever. But even still, I don't think it's as cryptic as what goes on in Russia and China and North Korea. I think still in America, we have some wiggle room. We have some protection against certain things. And even though people say, well, we elect our president, you know what I'm saying? Him or her. And I mean, we have a female vice president right now. None of those, bruh, ladies, I never thought in my 40 years of living that I was going to see a female vice president. Hell, I didn't think I was going to see a black president. But I can tell you that nowhere, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, in China, North Korea, or Russia, has there ever been a female president or vice president? Hell, I don't even know if they was in the cabinet. If y'all know something I don't know, feel free to put it in the chat, but I don't think so. So what I'm saying is the opportunity for female advancement, there's a major cap. So if this was a communist America, there would be a major cap on your success level. A major cap on the things that you can say, on the things that you can do. I'm just saying. So we understand that America, even though we have our restrictions and we have, you know what I'm saying, certain things going on here in America, that, you know, it may be a better land of milk and honey. It may be. There's a lot of complaining going on. You know, we talk about affirmative action. We talk about immigrants coming over the borders. We have a lot of things going on where people say, well, you know, we don't need affirmative action. We don't want immigrants, and we don't want this, and we don't. But people are rushing here because they realize this is a better way of living. This gives us an opportunity to live in if we work hard enough, we can get our white picket fence in a home. And this is what I gotta say to immigrants. This is what I gotta say about immigrants. I'm gonna tell you right now, right? I lived in a neighborhood. Where I seen about 10 Mexican people live in one house. They had 2 work trucks and another little vehicle, whatever the case would be, and they had a taco truck thing. And every day, damn near, like I used to go running about 4. I think those was my 4 a.m. days. When I wake up, they doing whatever they doing to the taco truck. You know, I mean, they're active. Like, it seemed like the whole house was alive. Everybody, like, all the cars would be gone. Like, on a daily basis, they're working and they're doing what they need to do. And I always had respect for them. I used to see them cutting grass, because, I mean, of course, they lived in the neighborhood, so you kind of get to know people in reference to, you know, names and remember faces or whatever case may be, you know. And it's just like, man, I used to go, like, you know, blocks away, but like they be cutting grass, they work at the gas station, you know, just all types of stuff, painting houses. And I used to make, like, they get it in. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be like, man, there are people that's in the United States of America that are citizens who don't work that hard. They do not work that hard. Like, they got their young kids out there cutting grass. They got their young kids washing cars. They got their young kids learning how to put up beams for houses and stuff. And I said, man. And I used to be like, man, y'all work extremely hard. And to me, it was impressive, because I was like, to come, and the father, I talked to the father, whatever case to be. And he was like, man, we came here, like, me and my wife and my 2 sons, and then of course the family expanded. We came here with nothing. Imagine coming to a country where first, and didn't know English. Didn't know English. You come to a country with nothing, with your 2 young sons and your wife. Don't know the language, and you don't have any money. Bro, he said he got him, they got a hotel room, stayed in that hotel room, and the wife used to, I guess she worked at the local laundromat, and she was like, I don't know, I guess she take the clothes and wash them and fold them and iron them, and I mean, and then he was out doing whatever he was doing or whatever case to be. I think the sons I guess they were old enough to be by themselves or whatever. But man, you gotta salute that. You gotta respect that. You gotta respect that. To me, you gotta respect that, or whatever case it be. I think when you showcase work ethic, you putting in the work, you know what I'm saying? You show that your livelihood and survival is more important. I think that as children, when you see your parents do those things, you have to have a level of respect for them. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? So funny, because here now, a couple years later, or whatever case may be, both their sons went to college. Both their sons went to college. They started off at community college or whatever case we ended up getting some scholarships. But wow, that's something to be proud of. That is something to be proud of. And for some reason, I feel like, you know, we as Americans, we take it, we don't appreciate the things that we have available. It's almost like we feel entitled. Like, that's America. Say what I want, do what I want. And it's just like other people come here and they say, you know, I'm not here to get handouts. I'm here to work for mine. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That's to me, that's super impressive. That's something that you definitely can respect. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, you know. But back to this Russia and Ukraine situation. You know, to me, it's just about, you know, people being greedy, wanting more. You know, wanting more. You know, I don't think Ukraine poses a threat to Russia. I just think that they want more. You know, think that they want more, and it showcases that it don't matter what country you belong to. That greed is greed. That greed is greed. I am willing to start a war. I want you guys to think about this. I'm willing to start a war to get what I want. Just because I want it. I'm willing to start a war. And, you know, the Russian president, dictator, whatever it is you want to call him, Putin, he is willing to expand and cross borders to promote dictatorship. Me says we have to be able to protect our homes, God forbid. Definitely. And I know that we a lot of people, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. When I was active duty in the military, man, you know, I had a conversation with some people and it was like, you know, I always find great supporters of the military, and then between those great supporters, it's always one or two people that have no respect for the military. I've seen it on YouTube. Like, they have zero respect, and you don't realize that, you know, from the young and to the old, you know, to the brave and to the bold. You don't realize the sacrifice people make to join the military. It's like some people, you know, they join the local police force. They join, they become EMTs, or they join become a firefighter or whatever, or nurses or whatever. First responders. The military is a first responder type of job, you know, and a lot of people don't realize that when you sign on a dotted line, especially as a first responder, you put your life on the line. You put other people's lives before your own. And a lot of people might say, oh, that's not heroic. No one cares about it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Boo-hoo, you know. But it's like, no disrespect. Being a first responder is not like playing in the NFL. You see what I'm saying? You know, being a first responder is not like, you know, working in the Senate. It's different. It's a whole different type of energy. It's a whole different type of danger. So for those people that, you know, have to wake up in the middle of the night and leave their kids for months and miss birthdays and funerals and anniversaries and special holidays, bro, that's a different type of ugh. You know what I'm saying? I remember missing 2 of my daughter's births because I was deployed in other countries. Can you imagine being connected to a woman and you guys are having a baby and you can't be there to hold her hand? You can't be there to say, hey, it's gonna be okay. Like that's some, like, regardless of any type of gripe or complaint I may have, total respect. To have to be a woman by yourself and have your, to be a woman by yourself and have your spouse or have the person that you're dealing with somewhere else in another country, and you got to do that shit by yourself, man, bruh. So whether you facing Taliban or whether you in Iraq or Afghanistan, wherever it is that you are, you know, you're not there on the home front. But I see that there's a lot of people, they like, man, I ain't going to fight for this country. Ain't no black man's belong in the military. And I just like, man, with that mentality, it's like, so let me get this straight. You have an issue with people going to other countries and fighting. Okay, I got it. You know, and some people are articulate enough to break it down why they feel the way they feel about going to other countries. Hey, they not bothering us, etc., etc., etc. We're going over there to fight a white man's war. It's all about oil. It's all about. So I've heard a lot of different narratives and rhetoric in regards to that. But you know, these same people, they don't become firefighters. They don't become EMTs. They don't join the police department. They don't become doctors. They don't become anything that's in the benefit of nobody else. That's what I've noticed. The people that are most vocal about the military and why they don't like it do nothing for their country, for their community, for their families, and for the most part for themselves that's productive. But they're the most vocal about what they don't like. I literally had a soldier come to me and break down talking about her family didn't appreciate her being in the military. She's from a small town. And I said, why you say that? Why you think that? It's like, well, they didn't want me to leave because they was like, you know, I'm gonna go to war and I'm gonna die for it, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, you know, I'm not saying the military is the only thing that you could do that would be prestigious. Thank you, me. I appreciate that. Thank you for that donation. I'm gonna get to the chat in just a minute. Let me get this story out, this little nugget. I said that's not the only thing you could do in the world. A lot of people think, you know, people join the military to be heroic or whatever. I don't think nobody signed up to die. I don't think nobody says, you know, I realized 1 or 2 times, you know, I'm not gonna be home. I'm gonna miss certain things. That's just how life is or whatever. But it was sad because when it was time to deploy, you know, none of her family members showed up. You know, everybody else had people coming, you know what I'm saying? Even people that was single, you know what I mean, had people coming, neighbors, and, you know, and none of her family showed up. They didn't call. We had phones. Nobody called to be like, hey, yada, 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 yada. And I just remember this soldier sitting on her duffel bag and just crying her eyes out or whatever case may be. So one of the other soldiers came and got me. It was like, yo, hey, da-da-da-da-da, it's crying. I was like, okay. So I walked over there to her, whatever case may be. And you know, I just, you know, picked up and gave her a big hug and said, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You know? But I ended up writing her parents a letter. I didn't do I'm about to piss somebody off. I was pissed off. But I didn't write a disrespectful letter to her parents. Tough love with ham on the parents. Your daddy gonna get it. Your mama gonna get it. Don't show up for my damn soldiers. Hold on. But look, so I wrote a letter to her parents or whatever case may be, and I just explained a lot of people think when you go into a fight it's all physical, but it's really mental. It's really mental. Your head needs to be in the game. Your head needs to be on a swivel. You need to be there in that moment, and you cannot be worried about things that you can't control elsewhere. You have to be focused. You have to move when it's time to move. You have to follow instructions. You have to handle your job and play your position. And you can't be worried about kids in the daycare, your mama in the hospital. You got to be focused on that task and that task alone. And I explained the significance of their daughter being vigilant in the moment. It was about 3 or 4 pages. About 3 or 4 pages. After that, at least once a week, she was getting letters from her family members. So I was happy about that. Sometimes you just gotta care, man. You just gotta care to go the distance. You gotta care to do something where other people wouldn't care. You know, and I think I breathed that regiment because I seen it so many times. It's like the faces and the names change, but the attitudes remain the same, of people that just don't care to do better, people that just don't want to do better. And it's like, I can't help but be like, man, how can I fix this problem? I see problems, and then I see solutions. I see problems, and then I see solutions. And I said, man, we need to get to the solution ASAP. So I'm excited that her parents and her family members, she got more family than me. Like, I mean, she was getting care packages from 12-year-olds and stuff. I said, you gonna give me some of them candy bars. You gonna give me some of them goddamn candy bars, girl. So I got a couple candy bars, y'all. But I was excited for her, man. When I say she lit up, so she was a PFC. She's a sergeant major right now, right? So I'm proud of her. I'm proud of all my soldiers, but you know, I'm my soldier, like I'm still in. Former soldiers. So yeah, I'm proud of all of them. A lot of them did a lot of great things. A lot of them are leading your sons and daughters now. A lot of those soldiers that I had as beginners, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in, now are like, you know, 15, 16, 17 years in. So salute to everyone that is connected to a soldier or know a soldier. Next time you see somebody in uniform, just say, hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for your service or whatever case may be. If you can't do nothing else, you know, so for everyone that has served, will serve, currently serving, you know, I salute you and I thank you for your service. And I know that sometimes when people say things about your service, they question it or they joke on it or whatever, I know that burns you up. Trust me, I know it burns you up, especially people that have done nothing to showcase any value for caring for anybody, have done nothing for themselves, their family members, their community, their country, nothing to showcase anything on their resume that it equals half of the things that you've done and that you've sacrificed. I salute you guys. I appreciate you guys because I realize the time and the effort that it took to do your job. That's really being connected to something. But I'm hoping you guys that I was able to kind of bring in why, you know, I didn't get into too far into depth, but I'm hoping that this sparks other conversations along the way to other content creators and maybe they can go involved. But I know a lot of people that didn't know what NATO was, why the United States was even involved, why they cared, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people's like, Biden just being nosy. But I do not like Joe Biden. Biden just being nosy. I'm like, well, you know, it don't matter what president was, whether it was Trump, Obama, Ronald Reagan, I don't think they had it during Ronald Reagan time. But it don't matter what president was sitting in the seat, whether it was a man or woman, black or white, Hispanic, it didn't matter. They would have had to, according to the treaty, come to Ukraine's aid. And I think that, you know, Joe Biden is very vocal with the support of Ukraine. And I think he should be, you know, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. Not Ronald Reagan. I was just playing, y'all. I know not Ronald Reagan, y'all. Stop playing. Y'all stop playing with me now. I ain't playing about that family, lovely. Nah. Hey, listen, I'm big on supporting people, especially when they're doing the right thing. I don't know if you, I'm sure you guys, you know, have teenagers around you or whatever, and you see the potential in these teenagers. And the last thing I want is for them to feel that they are unappreciated. Especially by the people that should be the most appreciative. I'm gonna tell you what it was because the dad wrote me a letter back. Y'all want to hear what the dad told me? If y'all want to hear what the dad told me, press 1. I'm gonna tell you what he told me. I wasn't tough love then. I was actually a sergeant. I was a sergeant first class then. Y'all press 1 if y'all want me to tell y'all what the daddy told me. He had a lot of misspelled words. Bruh. He had a lot of misspelled words in that mug, but I got the gist of it. Okay. Okay, I see the ones. Calm down. So he told me the reason why he did not support his daughter was because he was scared to join the military. He was scared to leave the little town that they were in or whatever. So he put his fears on his child. Because he was scared to venture off. He was scared to, I don't want to say man up, but he was scared to go explore. And there's a lot of people like that. They're scared to do something different. And so when your children say, hey, I want to become some type of artist, or, you know, I want to be a rapper, or I want to be an astronaut, I want whatever. It's like, no, you can't do it because I'm scared to do it, because I don't know how to do it, because I'm too lazy, or because no one showed me how to do it. And the fact of the matter is that he realized that his daughter was a pioneer. How many people ever told their children that their children was the pioneer in their family? Man, he spelled pioneer wrong. But I got it. I understood. If he listening right now, brother, I got it. High five, high five. I get it. She was a pioneer. And I told her, I didn't tell her that her dad wrote me a letter, but I told her that you are a pioneer. You are a pioneer. You are the first of your family to enter the military from your small town, to put their name on the map, to put your last name. This is a part of your legacy. Your children, your spouse, whether male or female, will look at you and say, you are a pioneer. You are a leader, a proven leader. That is something to get excited about. That is something to give a standing ovation for. Man, I was so proud of them soldiers, man. Definitely. You know, I haven't been on a military installation in a year. Like, I deliberately like separated myself or whatever. Because they say a lot of times, especially when you're retiring from the military, a lot of people have anxiety and separation issues or whatever. And I know I would have felt a certain type of way seeing soldiers every day. Like, man, let me put this damn uniform. Fall in, your left, right, left, left. I guarantee I would have been like, man, let me shake this shit off. Don't playing with me. Don't play with me. Huh? Don't play with me. I'm sitting in here hot. Got a whole AC here. Let me turn the AC up here. Lovely said, look, Lovely says, she says, nah, Mario, you sent that poor man 3 or 4 pages of threats. You scared the heck. No, I didn't scare that man. I ain't scared that man. He hurt. You know what's so funny, man? Because a lot of times when you have leaders in the military, they see their soldiers as their children. And that's probably not a good thing, but they get attached. That's their extended family. Black, white, Hispanic, Oriental, it don't matter. You extended family. And I still have soldiers who reach out to me through Facebook and social media. Hell, I got soldiers that be in the chat. You know, battle buddies that be in the chat. And they reach out to you and say, hey, I appreciate you teaching me about credit. I appreciate you giving me that information about, you know, love languages, or, you know, self-development, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just like, man, when you see people that blossom, when you see people with the potential, that take the potential and blossom, man, that's a breathtaking thing. That's an awesome thing. That's an awesome thing. But I didn't send him no threats. I just wanted to break down to him how special his child was. So sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you can't put in words. So when you have someone that can articulate verbally and written, he said he framed my letter. I was like, yeah, okay. I'm laughing. Listen, I appreciate it. I like he framed it. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I'm glad that I could help. I'm glad I could help. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I probably would have took him out. If he would have sent me back some negativity, goddamn it. If he'd have sent me back some negativity, I would have blew his house. No, I'm playing. I'm joking. I'm playing. Yeah. I'm playing. Verbal and written forms of communication, very important. Very important. That is a lost art. That's a lost art. Lost art. I try to write a letter at least once a month to somebody. You know, I mean, it's great that we have social media and we can, you know, do a quick text and a LOL here, but I just try to, you know, just make sure my penmanship is where it needs to be, just in case for some reason social media goes down or whatever. You know, when the last time you actually, some people don't know how to spell good. Just be real with you. Like when you have to do it, because you know you have those you got autocorrect and you got the guess the word that you're getting ready to type, so you never really have to type it out, like special or occasion or something like that. So you don't have to spell it out. You just put the first two letters and it'll spell it out. So when you go to write something, you're like, damn, how you spell special? How you spell occasion? I'm telling you, man. I sat down and I had my daughter. I said, hey, we're gonna write a letter, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I'm gonna write a letter to somebody, you write a letter. And she was like, how do you spell? I was like, how the I said, you gonna stop using that goddamn phone. Soft skills is as if more important than hard skills. No doubt, no doubt. I'm a perfect speller. Look at Refuse to Lose being cocky. Y'all get Refuse to Lose up out of here. Get her out of here, man. Oh, super spelling bee champ head ass. Oh, I get it always right head ass. Shit. Miss Carolyn says, haha, you were right. So every month you write this man. Oh my God, I am not harassing this dude. I'm not writing him no more. Like I don't even know the dude's address no more. You know, I got it in a trunk. I have a trunk with like army stuff. I got an office, but it's not like it's like certain stuff I have like packed away or whatever. But that letter is in a trunk. I don't know if that was the Afghanistan or the Iraq trunk, but I have a trunk where I have you know, things that you know was a part of that time frame or whatever inside that trunk. So, you know, if something was to ever happen or whatever case may be, you know, my daughters could open the trunk and kind of see, you know, certain things and, you know, memorabilia or whatever. Spin Fire, salute. It's been a long time, Spin Fire. Raz girl. Raz girl. Nah. But yeah. So I'm hoping that everybody kind of understands the importance of why America is even a part of this conflict, why we even care. And like I said, Russia, China, and North Korea, they're a problem. They're a problem. You know what I'm saying? Good afternoon. They are a problem. And for those that don't think that, you know what I'm saying, it's a problem because we sit here kind of, you know, in America and we really don't see the front lines. You know, I would ask that you guys look at different news outlets and not just one source, because this news outlet, which may be CNN, they may think that this way of looking at this conflict is important, but other nationwide or national syndicated stations may look at it this way. So look at a couple different things. You know, I know some people who don't watch the news. Let me help you guys out. In order to be informed about what's going on in your city, your state, and in your country, you have to watch the news. You have to be informed about what's going on, because the news could be telling you, hey, on the south side, there were 5 shootings, and guess what? You making reservations to go on the south side the next night because you are not aware of what's going on. You know, they say bad news travels fast, but for some reason, sometimes you don't get all the news you're supposed to get. So sometimes you need to have those outlets. You know what I'm saying? Those people get paid a lot of money to report news on what's going on. Here in Houston, we've had several road rage incidents. We had sex trafficking incidents. We've had numerous incidents, you know what I'm saying, where people are being followed home and home invasions and just a bunch of stuff where I feel like if you stay in your bubble, you'll never get that information. So when they start talking about Russia and Ukraine, I know a lot of us like, I ain't listen to this shit. Let me go to Lifetime. You know, let me go to HBO Max. I would encourage you guys to listen to it. You know, take 30 minutes to just listen to what's going on, because I think that you would be enlightened, and then that increases your conversation when you're talking to someone. Let's say you go out to a lounge or a bar, or you're in the airport or whatever, and they start talking about, hey, what do you think about this Russian-Ukraine conflict? Because that's what we do. So why do you think NATO is important? We don't know. We don't know because nobody take the time to tell us or teach us. So that's why I said, man, I just wanted to do that or whatever, to break it down a little bit. You know, I appreciate you guys for rocking out, man. I'm about to get up out of here. But yeah, if y'all got any questions for me, I'm willing to answer any questions or whatever. I see y'all in the building, man. Salute, 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 salute. I hate watching the news. It's depressing. I hear you. I hear you. But I believe it's a necessary evil. I believe it's a necessary evil. Or it's a necessary communication. Maybe I shouldn't say evil. Yeah. A necessary communication. You know, it's just the adult thing to do. Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. Masonic. Refuse to lose, Miss Curlin. I see y'all. So if anybody got any questions for me, you know, I'm willing to do a Q&A real quick. So which trunk is the body? Which trunk is the body in? What's going on? What, you about to ride?
Yeah, I'm just sleeping my ass.
No doubt, no doubt.
Got this long ass vacation. I don't know what.
I know. I hear you. I'll holler at you, man. All right. My cousin is visiting. Stock up on food, water, ammo. Not just in case of war, because of food shortages. That's good advice. That's definitely good advice. Definitely good advice. You know what's so funny, man? I think that a lot of times we don't think about emergencies until the emergency. Like in case of emergency, this is what we do. Like, let's say in the middle of the night somebody's breaking in. What do? What's the protocol? You know, what do you do? You know, in case of a fire, what do you do? You know, and I think that, you know, we have to be more vigilant on handling crisis, and making sure that the people that we love understand what the protocol is. You know, as Kevin would say, I think it was Kevin who said it, the rules of engagement in regards to having a conflict. We have to understand what the protocol is. No doubt. Can you tell us if you have an address we can send letters to soldiers? I don't have any direct addresses, no. But if you really want to send letters to soldiers, you can go on line, and I think you can Google U.S. care packages. I think it's still care packages. U.S. Army, well, U.S. military care packages, and they will give you addresses to where you can send letters to soldiers. They will provide you links to where you can go, whatever case may be. But I don't have any like direct addresses, because all the units that I was a part of have new addresses. So you be sending some you be sending this shit. It's a floral department now. It's not even why did I get this letter from me? Why did me send me a letter? For real. But yeah, you can Google that. You can get it online. Yeah, you can get it online. But that's something I'll tell you what, I'll find it and I'll put it in my community tab. I'll find a few websites that you can go to so that way you can get that information. I can do that. That's not hard. USO, thank you very much. USO, definitely. You can reach out to your local USO in your state, or in your city, and then you can call them up and say, hey, I want to write, you know, troops. You know, how can I do that or whatever? And they definitely can get you point you in the right direction or whatever. Anybody got any more questions for me? That was a good question. Pow, pow, his ass with the fire extinguisher. Yeah. Y'all got some questions, let me know. I'm here to answer some questions. Y'all got questions. I'm glad. I didn't think y'all was gonna rock out with this Ukraine and Russia situation, like the conversation. I appreciate y'all pulling up and staying up in here. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Awesome content. Thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you. Salute. Tammy Dawsey says, salute to all my military personnel, past and present. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It feels great to be recognized, as a military veteran or active duty reservist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It definitely feels great to be recognized, whatever case it be. And it shows that people outside the military care or whatever. But I think that we all like to be recognized. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're just a content creator or, a mom or dad, a trash man or whatever, I think we all like to be recognized. So don't just stop at military veterans. You know what I'm saying? When you see people, recognize the job that they do and hey, I appreciate the service that you provide. I appreciate the products that you provide. Hey, appreciate yourself sometime. It's Friday. Don't just, if you stay in the house and you want to watch TV, fine, I get it. Sometimes we got that, binge, Netflix and whatever. But if you can, just get out, take a drive, go somewhere different, get lost. As long as you got a GPS to get back, okay? But start appreciating yourself, appreciating your time and the things that you spend your time doing. Miss Carolyn says, great topic, and who better to get the point of view across than someone who was actually in the middle. So here's my thought process. This was requested that I talk about Ukraine and Russia, the conflict. So I really appreciate you guys requesting it. I actually got an email. I also got an email about George Floyd, doing an update on George Floyd. So I need to get that together and speak on that. I kind of spoke on the George Floyd incident. It really bothered me. It bothered me about what Candace Owens has said. It bothered me about the entire situation. And maybe I'll do a recap on that, and then I'll go into the latest and greatest about George Floyd. But yeah, that situation really bothered me. Yeah. Any other questions? Good question, me. Me says, how long were you a stripper? No. Oh, let me see if my phone getting hot. Hold on. It don't look like it's getting too hot. Okay. No, I was in the military for 20 years. I've been to I've been to Iraq twice, Afghanistan twice, Korea. I've been to Turkey. I've been to Germany. I've been to, that's just Oconus, but CONUS, damn near all the states. I've served as a first sergeant, platoon sergeant, combat patrol leader, squad leader, team leader, a liaison, and a warrant officer, first sergeant. So I've had those different jobs. So my last job was a logistics warrant officer in the United States military. So that's where I've been. Any more questions? I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah. I know y'all got some questions for me now. I've been around, and I'm not a chaplain. Man, I heard somebody say that. I was like, you're so funny, because I knew a couple chaplains, chaplain aides and chaplains or whatever. They're good people. Not necessarily the job for me. I definitely believe in a higher power. I definitely seen that talking to that higher power has worked. But no, I wasn't a chaplain. But I think I know it's all about jokes and games or whatever, but I really wish we could find a better way to be comical. Yeah. Yeah. So can you blink someone? What? So can you blink and someone be done? Just nah, I can't blink and somebody be done. Nah. I think we all got our skill sets. We all got our skill sets and what it is that we could do, what we learned or whatever. Just because you was in the military don't mean you was no certified killer, you know what I'm saying, or whatever case to be. But I did work with the special forces from time to time, or whatever case to be. Shout out to my guys out in Italy. Oh, Italy, yeah, I've been to Italy. Yeah, so yeah, just because you was in the military don't mean you was no killer. Don't mean you was no killer, goddammit. Have you been to? Yeah, I have. Iraq and Afghanistan, both twice. Good question. Other ways to be comical. Yeah, other ways to be comical. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm trying to give y'all some time to ask me some questions. Refuse to lose. Somebody block refuse to lose. Get her out of here. This lady gonna say, are vet children crazy too? I guess it depends on the vet that they got for a parent. I guess it depends on the vet that they got. Man, get her up out of here, bro. I guess it depends on the parent that they have. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes it's hard for military children to adapt to certain things because you have the structure of the parent that is in the military, and then depending on if you live in a military environment versus a civilian environment, I just think it's a total different way of life. You know what I'm saying? 20 years is a long time. Yeah, it is long. It's long. It's long. Where will you live if you had to leave here a second time? Asking you. I think I would go back to Hawaii. I really liked Hawaii. Actually, in Hawaii, I was stationed at Schofield Barracks in Fort Schaffner. So there's two different locations, but I ended up moving to Honolulu. So I stayed in Honolulu. And the great thing about Honolulu is a tourist attraction. So you constantly have people coming in every week, different people. So, you know, you go to the local bar and you got people coming in from, you know, everywhere, you know, so you never know who you're going to meet at the bar or whatever. I literally, the high rise that I was in, like literally overlooked the ocean. So it was just a beautiful thing or whatever case may be. I really enjoyed my time in Hawaii. So, yeah. But I got little ones. So I don't really want to, I want to just make sure things are the way they need to be, you know, and they're old enough to travel before I just, you know, kind of leave this area. Which branch of the service were you in? Wakanda. I was in Wakanda forever. No, I was in the army. Wakanda. That's half my age. You're right. That's half my age, me. That's half my age. What country will you live if you had to leave America? I want to go to Brazil. I want to go to Brazil. I think Brazil. You know, I'm really going to maybe probably in the next 2 to 3 years. It all depends on what type of what job I decide to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've been retired, so I haven't been working for anybody. But I'm kind of, you know what I'm saying, I got some offers that I'm debating right now, contemplating. So if I take it, I take it. If I don't, I don't. But, you know, I really want to start traveling heavy. But Brazil is definitely on the bucket list. You know. Good question, though. Good question. I am not married. No, I am not married. She says, yeah, being nosy. I'm not married. I was married, though. I was married in, I married a woman that I met in, AIT. So, over 20 years ago, whatever case would be. So what happened was we got married. I went to Hawaii. She went to where she lived at. Brought her to Hawaii. She went to Korea, came back. I went to Korea, came back. I deployed, came back. Deployed again. So not married no more. Not married no more. So I think I got a divorce in 2006. I think it was around 2006. So yeah. So y'all can understand being gone for a year, how that would kind of strain a relationship. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, good person though. Definitely a good person. Definitely a good person. Good question. That was a good question. Wonder why Brazil. Hold on now. I done seen some beautiful, beautiful women in Brazil now. Plus I like the whole, y'all seen the parades or whatever. I don't know. I just said, hey, that would be a great place. You know how you see something and it just stays in your mind. It's a stain in your mind. Like, oh, I want to travel there. Plus on your TV, I don't know if y'all cable do this, but it shows like different places in the world, right? And I like every time I see Brazil, it's always something nice. I seen Norway. I seen Scotland. Poland. Like I seen places where, yeah, I wouldn't mind traveling there. I would definitely not mind traveling there.
454.
Me is being messy, y'all. Get me up out of here. I want me gone. Me is gone. Me, I thought you was a moderator. Hold on, stay still. I said stay still. I thought she was a moderator. That's a good question. How was your transition leaving the military? Bittersweet. When I believe I handled it fairly well. I literally moved from the location, like I said, so I wouldn't have to, see soldiers every day. So I could actually transition. So it wouldn't be like you know what I'm saying? It's like you quit a job or you retire from a job and every day you got to drive past the damn job, or when you go into the 7-Eleven, people talking about your job. It's like, I wanted to really transition or whatever. So grew my beard out, you know what I'm saying? Started to gain a little weight, and I just tried to circumvent the regiment that I was accustomed to. So hey, instead of being up at 6 a.m. every morning, I'm gonna sleep in, you know what I'm saying? Or instead of going to the gym like 4 times a week, forget it, I'm just gonna go 2 or 3 times a week. So I just try to change it up real quick so I can get acclimated to civilian life or whatever. So I didn't watch, I didn't talk military. I didn't speak on military politics or anything like that. So yeah, I think the transition went smooth. I've done a lot of videos where I really don't speak about the military as much as you would think someone who served in the military for 20 years would do. So yeah. No problem, me, no problem. Do you self-reflect your mindset of military once out? Yeah, hell yeah. Because you're accustomed to certain standards and certain actions. You think that if you say something reasonable people will understand. But that's not the way that's not the way civilian life works. It's not. It doesn't matter if you're right or not. You understand what I'm saying? It's the military. I'm not gonna say it's always harmonious. I'm just gonna say that right is right and wrong is wrong, and there's always a way to get back to right. If someone's doing something wrong, there's always somebody bigger than them in reference to rank that can circumvent the wrong. There's always a way to get back to the right. The civilian sector, like civilian wise, it's like, even though it's wrong, it's allowed to be wrong. The excuses, the ignoring, I don't know, it's allowed to exist. It's allowed to exist. It's allowed to blossom. It's allowed to flourish, or whatever case may be. And I think that's the difference between structure and non-structure, between people who have an understanding of right and wrong versus people who ignore the right to promote the wrong. Up and personal with Tough Love, aka Mario. Are you originally from the East Coast? I'm originally from Bronx, New York. I want to make sure I didn't skip over anybody's questions. Do you take the job if it's going to take a lot of your time from your kids? They are used to having you around and definitely need you. Okay, so I'm gonna have a truth moment with you guys. Based on my resume, I've gotten offers to do a lot of different type of jobs. I just think it's important right now that I'm where I need to be right now. I missed a lot of things when it came to my children, due to, you know, being gone, you know, and you know, sometimes that's just a part of the job, you know, but I value, you know, seeing my children thrive. I value just having a conversation. I value whether it's picking up from daycare or going to get ice cream or going to the park or watching a movie. Like, I value those things because I feel like it's important. And it's definitely important when you feel that you have a fair and impartial outlook on life. So I'm not going to be the father that sits down and says, you know, let me tell you about the white man and how the white man going to keep you down, and slavery. And, you know, I believe that opportunity is achievable for all. I believe that our mindset to do good is the most powerful asset that we can have. And time is of the essence. So the more time we spend doing good, the better our karma will be when it comes back around. And sometimes it won't affect you. It may affect the next generation. It may affect your children. It may affect, you know what I'm saying, your coworkers or whatever case may be. But you know that you've put that goodness out there in the air. You've put that goodness in your community. You put that goodness into your country. So, I'm only going to take a job where I have the freedom to of mobility, you know. So hopefully I answered your question. What benefits have you gotten after serving? What do you think should be done in the future for our veterans? I've gotten a lot of benefits. Whether it's my car, my home, property tax, business upstart loans. I mean, I've gotten a lot of benefits, and it all depends on, I guess, where your research takes you and how you network, because there's certain things that's afforded to veterans that they don't even know because they don't do the research and they just don't know. You see what I'm saying? So I do try to share other veterans that I know, their content, because their pages are veteran heavy and they talk about a lot of the benefits, et cetera, et cetera. So I share those to my community tab. Just to have that information in one location. So if people are looking through my tab, they say, okay, this is something I can pass to my brother or my father or my sister or my aunt. So I try to do those things or whatever. But I just don't. For me, it was better for me to just not break ties, but it was better to me to focus on civilian versus military, just to try to mellow things out. Because in the military, things are like this. You hear that cadence? But in the civilian sector, it's like things are like this. So you have to develop a patience for that type of cadence. Because you're always on the go. You're just like, okay, it's like we need to go shopping. Like we need to go to the grocery store. Okay, let's go. You understand what I'm saying? Let's go. Versus we need to go to the grocery store and it's a week later. So I'm hoping that you guys understand, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I found my way to cope. You're right, Miss Curlin. It's not like you left with nothing. I think it's important for vets. Yeah, I definitely left with honorable discharge and all the good stuff that come with being having an honorable discharge. Yes, stay with those kids. You should open a school. Kids need love and protection. I should open a school. I ain't opening no damn school. You about to piss me off. I ain't opening no school. Nah, I ain't got time to open no school now. Come on now. Says yes, my dad went through a lot. Is it? But it's much harder with many obstacles in between. I have to leave right now. Hopefully you'll still be on when I'm done. Salute. Have a beautiful day. I'm gonna be here for like another 5 minutes and I'm gonna let y'all go, man. You are right where you need to be. Okay. I think I caught up to everything. Ghost says military people always think ahead. I think when you get to a certain rank, that it is conducive to that rank to be successful, to see the bigger picture in situations. So if you are a staff sergeant or above, so on the NCO, so there's three things, right? You got your NCO, your non-commissioned officer side of the house, right? Which are soldiers. You have your officer side of the house, which is your brass, okay, like lieutenants, captains, colonels, majors. Then you have your specialty officers, warrant officers. So I started off a soldier, so from private all the way up to sergeant first class promotable, okay, which is a senior non-commissioned officer. And I transitioned to a specialty officer, which is a warrant officer, a logistics officer. So when you get into those senior ranks across the board, you know what I'm saying, you start to think different. You start to see the bigger picture. So imagine a CEO of a company versus trying to really bring it home for you guys. A CEO of a company versus someone who gets hired to run the mailroom. Both of them got jobs. Both of them have duties and responsibilities, but there's a bigger picture to see. So what's important in the big picture, the CEO is going to look at, whether it's a male or female, they're going to look at the big picture and they're going to say, these are the things that we need to do to set us up for the long haul. Versus somebody in the mailroom, hey, I just need to get this stuff out right now. That's all I'm worried about. I'm not worried about anything else. And I think that when you have more responsibilities and duties and a level of understanding, you see the big picture and you realize where you need to get to in the long run. And I think that's how I kind of conduct my channel. That's how I kind of look at things. You know, where do we want to be in the long run? What conversations do we need to have to promote stability, to promote better communication, to promote having a tough conversation, but being able to agree to disagree. That's where we at right now. Daddy daycare. You got jokes. Somebody get Pete's up out of here. Matter of fact, hold on. I forgot. Hold on. Hey, if you definitely been here and supporting the channel, man, I appreciate you guys. I definitely try to make you guys moderators so you can help facilitate the channel or whatever. I'm sure it'll grow. It is growing, and I appreciate that. What did you say, me? Investor? Then CEO? Okay. Okay. Well, look, I'm about to go give me something to eat. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. So I'm about to get something to eat. But I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Yeah, I think this was a decent topic or whatever. You guys let me know in the comments what you think the next topic should be, and then I'll try to tackle it. I know George Floyd is definitely going to be a interesting topic. Maybe I'll try to do a panel with that. You know, maybe it just won't be me talking. So I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I'm still debating if I want to use not crab legs. You know what? Hold on. Crab legs do sound pretty good, Miss Curlin, while you're playing games. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I'll decide if I want to do a panel or not or whatever kiss me. You guys let me know if I should do a panel for George Floyd or if I should just, do a solo dolo or whatever. But I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for rocking with me. I appreciate everybody coming through. For those people that will catch the replay, hopefully I was able to kind of break down some things to give everybody a better understanding about what's going on with this Russia and Ukraine conflict or whatever, and why we are involved as the United States of America. Until next time, a dot up. Peace. Enjoy your weekend.